Hi everyone, my name is Adon Meza, and I've been working with Paul Vega to create a new podcast called Here and Now. So this idea started off because we love to talk, and we realized that we also love to share about the different lessons we've learned from music. And we realized there's actually a lot of great stories that we've heard from people from West Lawn, Gage Park, Humboldt Park, and many of the other surrounding Southwest communities in Chicago. So we're hoping that this podcast allows people to be the oral historians that we know many people are. And overall, we're hoping that Here and Now explores the pivotal moments in people's lives and the soundtracks that accompanied them. So we ask guests questions that tap into spiritual, emotional, and the social aspects of what different songs, artists, and albums mean to them. So here's a clip of our pilot episode we think you will enjoy. This is after we just listened to the song I'm Not Okay, I Promise. If you love the clip, please consider giving us a share and a like on your social media platforms you're listening to this on. And if you truly want to see us bloom succeed, we have a Patreon linked in the description below. Whatever you can helps, and we would love to offer any opportunity for other people to also interview and share their music. So that's enough for now. So enjoy the clip. Have a great weekend, and don't forget to share with your friends. That was I'm Not Okay, I Promise. Okay, Paul. So, let me catch my breath. For all of you who don't know, we're going to put that.
You really had a quite a bit of a freak out there, didn't you? But in the best way possible.
Yeah. We'll put that in the special deluxe version.
I really wish you could have seen what I just saw. It was great.
Okay. If you don't know, I just put on my leather jacket and I went full emo mode. We're going to put...
But hey, you know what? That's awesome.
Yeah, I have the jacket for and everything. I'm wearing that shit even if it's going to be like 90 degrees in that church. You got to look at this. You got to look the part, right?
Exactly.
But yeah, Paul, I'm not okay, I promise. I have my feelings about this, but let's start with you first. What's this song mean for you? The title is not exactly a secret, but what does it be? I'm not okay, I promise. I don't know. Start us off.
I mean, just sounds like a disgruntled youth, you know. Not even just a youth, but just somebody who just is fed up with like the phony sort of behaviors of the people around them. Almost like if you gave Holden Caulfield a song to sing, I feel like this would be what he sings.
I definitely got Holden Caulfield vibes from this. Sorry, I'm like eating the mic. So this idea of not wanting to disappoint people, but letting them know that like you're always gonna disappoint people who are not honest, who don't actually say what they want.
Right, and for those who don't, for those who don't understand don't know the reference, Holden Caulfield is a character from a book called The Catcher in the Rye, who his whole thing is that he's a very, true to himself character and doesn't enjoy people who present themselves, in a phony or unauthentic way.
Thank you for that. I think one of the things you mentioned was this idea of phoniness, authenticity, because I think teenagers deal with a lot of this problem, like just like, who am I? What am I? And it is a little thing, but everyone's got a. There's almost this phase where you have to think everyone else is a phony because you realize like, no one's figured out the no one's figured out the answer. No one's figured it out, and I think part of seeing everyone as a phony is realizing that the only person who's gonna validate you the most in your life is yourself. No one's gonna actually give you the answers because no one has them. Everyone is, in a sense, being a bit of a phony, but that's just part of life.
Yeah, I think for me, having grown up as someone who was very much trying to fit some sort of mold, I can understand this idea of not liking quote unquote phony people. Because I feel, of course, nobody's perfect. Nobody's walking around with all the answers, but I do feel that there are some folks who, quite frankly, are not being true to themselves and are, in turn, causing others harm. Like, are actively seeking out to, stigmatize and, ostracize others. That's the sort of phony that, I don't like, But someone who's just trying on different proverbial hats, trying to find themselves, I have no problem with somebody like that because they're just going through the motions of life and trying to find who they are. So in a way, um I really admire teenagers who kind of go the extra mile to try on different things, to try different personalities, try not personalities, but try to fit into different places because that's how you figure out who you are. And I feel like ultimately, if you've spent some time around certain folks, what you learn is that as you grow older is that each place that you spend time in, you probably have a little piece of that within you.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the the big truth here is that we're all sort of walking what's that word called, walking collages
I
of
like that.
of experiences and thought processes. And at our core we have who we are, but who we are isn't what we do. And um it's just sort of who we are is kind of, I don't know, it's kind of a very like deep topic, very very kind of sort of deeper topic to go into, which we can go into maybe you know on the next episode. But it's overall, I'd say authenticity is sort of a hard thing to identify because what may seem inauthentic, non inauthentic, I don't know, non-authentic to you may very well be authentic to the person who is doing the thing.
Yeah. Authenticity is in the eye of the beholder, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
No, I really like you said collages because I think as we explore more of this album next time, and we go into the next album, we're gonna see how that story's told backwards and how they collage together. Because great music is inherently contradictory. It's gonna tell you messages that don't match, because it's not really trying to give you a story to have a clear moral. Like any good story, it will allow you to put yourself, your mind, and your heart. And I think, like you said, MCR has done such a good job of being loud enough to reach so many people, but open enough so that other people can put their voice and their stories in it. So, one thing I wanted to say before we close off is just my personal experience with this song. And I'm not okay, I promise. I obviously you introduced me to MCR, but I didn't really start getting into them. So I started playing their music in my old band. And I think one of the things I found really awesome was doing the backup vocals for it, because I remember practicing it, singing it with the band, the lead singer at the time. And I just really liked singing that song so much that even in the background vocals, I would just be whispering the main melody because it's just so fucking fun to sing. And it's a simple message, but I'm not okay, I promise. This idea that like it's okay to not be okay, I think, is like a more recent phrase we see on like bumper stickers. It's in a lot of like mental health places. It's okay not to be okay. And I'm not okay, I promise, is kind of that I'm broken, I'm unfinished, I'm not ready, I'm sort of half baked as a person, but it's okay. And I think teenagers just need to hear that more often, that you're actually you actually are a little bit of a mess, like, but that's okay because that's part of it. That's you have to sort of, it's almost like going through a mess, if like trying to find, like, it's like going through a thrift store. It's like an old school thrift store. It's a fucking mess, but if you spend time or patient, then you're gonna find something nice. And even if you don't walk out, you saw so much. You did so much. You experiment with so much. Even if you didn't take anything home with you, like, you just saw there's history behind everything you saw. So yeah, I think for me, I'm not okay, I promise, is like it almost felt like a way for me to vent to my band without talking to my band, but also a way for me to explore singing, because it's the reason I'm taking music singing lessons right now, and that's the song I'm working on, because it feels powerful to sing that song. It makes me feel like like I can put my energy on, on my little dance and everything. I did earlier. It's a testament to that. Thank you so much for listening. You can listen to the rest of the podcast on September 1st on all streaming platforms. Once again, please share with a friend, support our Patreon, and leave a few comments. Let us know what songs we should explore. Let us know if you'd love to be a guest, or any other ideas you have for the podcast. Thank you so much. Have a good one.